everyone. I thank Jennifer for this opportunity as we're talking about friends tonight. Her chapter was talking about siblings and mentioned sibling rivalry, Jacob and Esau, Cain and Abel, even Joseph and his brothers. And I come from a huge family. My mother had 9 children, of which I am the seventh. And there was that sibling rivalry that went on in my home with me and my siblings. And I remember times fighting for blood, but we're talking about friendship, and that's where friendship, your first friend should be, with your siblings, with your family. Sometimes that's not always the case, but the beautiful thing about God is he gives us other people to and they become like our family, they become like our friends. And it becomes a blessing. I went to Andrews University some time ago, and I remember getting on the campus, and I was there in the cafeteria and just thought, boy, these people here are so cold. They're not friendly at all, And I don't know how many of you guys have ever been to Andrews or been to Michigan, but it's a very, very, very cold climate. I mean, it snows all the time. I think they probably have maybe one day of summer, because I felt like I wore a jacket the whole time that I lived there, even when I was there in the summer. But it was just cold. The people were not friendly to me at all. And I remember going into the cafeteria with these thoughts in my head. I was like, Lord, these people are cold, just like the weather. Nobody's friendly. Nobody's speaking to me. Nobody's even introducing themselves to me at all. And that was when the Holy Spirit spoke to me and told me Proverbs 18:24. Justin, would you read that for us, please?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, 18:24 says, a man who wants to have friends must be friendly, but there's one friend who sticks closer than a brother.
So I wanted people to be friendly to me, but I wasn't necessarily being friendly to them. So if I wanted friends, then I had to show myself friendly. I couldn't be cold. I couldn't act like everybody else. So what I began to do is whenever I would go into the cafeteria, instead of waiting for someone to come and sit and introduce themselves to me or to welcome me, I began to look for other people who were sitting alone. And I would go over to them and I would say, hi, my name is Denise. Do you mind if I join you? And they would say, of course, you can join me. And that's how I began to meet people at Andrews. I had to first show myself friendly, and then I had a lot of friends by the time, that I left there. Now, I want somebody else to read Proverbs 17:17 for us, please. Who had that one?
A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity.
A friend loveth at all times. I attended Oakwood now 40 years ago, since I first set foot on that campus. And I have a friend, and we have been friends for over 40 years now. We've been friends, and it's hard for me to even imagine that I still have a friend that I'm close with for that long time. I guess I'm getting old, but there is a friend. She is that friend that has stuck closer than a brother. She's like a sister to me, I feel like I can talk to her when I can't talk to my own family. I mentioned I come from a big family. My mother had 9 children, 5 girls and 4 boys, of which 2 of my brothers are now deceased. But I never had that that close sister bond, like your sister's like your best friend and you tell each other all your secrets and everything. I never had that. So with my friend that I met at Oakwood, I shared a lot of things. And even now in my adult life, we've had our ups and our downs, but yet the friendship has not waned. You can become so close to a person that you really don't want them to leave you. You know what I'm saying? You want to just stay in their presence at all times, kind of like the relationship that Ruth and Naomi had. And if somebody would read for me, Ruth chapter 1, verse 16.
And Ruth said, entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go, and where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God.
You see, Ruth wanted to be wherever Naomi was. A couple of years ago. I'm sorry. Anyway, a couple of years ago now, maybe a year and a half or so, Jennifer did her first online anxiety and depression class. And I, as well as Cree and Marilyn and a few others of us that are on here now, we were a part of that very first depression and anxiety class that Jennifer did online. When the class started, you know, we didn't really know each other. We were all strangers from different parts of the world, and just coming together with our brokenness, trying to heal from our anxiety and our depression. But Jennifer encouraged us when she would send out the emails. She included everybody's email so you can see everybody else's email address. You know, she made it public, nothing was hidden. And she encouraged us to reach out to one another, to encourage each other. And when somebody was having a hard time, she sent out an SOS. Hey, I need you guys to lift up so-and-so in prayer. They're having a rough time. And we did. And we reached out to one another. And thus a friendship was formed, so much so until we really don't want to leave each other. So I'm going to call out the people from the group now that are here, if they don't mind. Cree was a part of that group. Marilyn was a part of that group. Jessica was a part of that group. Erin took a later course, but she's a part of us now. Donna Wren King, Cheryl, Cree, help me with who I'm missing, but
Rena
was there, Kelly Scott was there, and there are a few others. But since that time, we formed a group and we continue to meet every week. We formed a strong friendship until we hate to leave one another. We hate not to be there. And I just thank the Lord for the friendship. Even today, Marilyn sent out a beautiful email with characteristics of each one of us and the strength that she saw in all of us. Only a friend would do that, and how she valued the friendship of each of us. And I just think that that is so beautiful. I think what we have formed here with the Abide Network is really a beautiful friendship. Each one of us coming, we really don't know each other from Adam, but as we come and we share our brokenness, we share our stories, a bond is formed, and we become those friends that stick closer than a brother. We become those friends that really hate to leave one another. We become those friends that look forward to Friday night, Abide Network, Food for the Heart. We can come together and share. Now, I really don't have a lot to share, but I do thank the Lord for the friends that he's given me. I've met a lot of people, you know, I've gone different places, and some family members would get upset because does Auntie Denise have to stop and talk to everybody? Does she know everybody? And so there's like this little saying that I know everybody. And I was with some other friends at another event, and everybody that we passed, I knew them. Oh, hi, such a hi. And so they dubbed me Famous Denise. And it's become a joke with some friends. Oh, that's Famous Denise. Well, I don't really consider myself famous. I consider myself a child of God. But it's good to know people. It's good to have friends. That's all beautiful. And I thank God for each one of the friends I have, especially my support group. They have been a huge blessing. But you know, the best friend to have is Jesus. He is the very best friend any of us could ever hope for. No matter what we're going through, no matter our ups, our downs, our highs, our lows, he's right there by our side. He promised us that he would never leave us nor forsake us. There's a hymn that says, oh, the best friend to have is Jesus. And I can't remember all the words, but just that line resonates with me. The best friend to have is Jesus. And I'm so glad that he's my friend. I'm so glad that he wants to be my friend. He wants to be your friend. He wants to be our friend. And the way our friendship with him grows is that we learn to trust him more, because I know Creed, I'm gonna just use Creed as an example. If I got in a bind, say financial, I say, hey, Creed, I'm short. Can you loan me like $200? Creed, because she's my friend, and if she had it, she'd say, oh yeah, sure, Denise. And I tell her I would pay her back. She would believe me, right? Because we're friends. She has that faith and trust in me. If I give her my word that I'm going to pay her back, then in good faith, she would loan me the money, knowing that because I said I'm going to do what I'm going to do, that I would pay her back. No questions asked. That's how our Father in heaven wants us to trust him too. He's given us exceeding great and precious promises in his word that if we just stand on the promises of God, he will do for us far more exceedingly abundantly above anything we could ever think or imagine. But we shortchange him when we don't believe. Talking about that faith, you think about with Abraham and Sarah. She was 89, 90 years old, and Abraham was almost 100, and God told them that he's going to give them a son. She's like, yeah, really? Seriously? And so she had this act in faith, to believe God. And so her and her husband got together, and she conceived at 89, and she had a child at the age of 90. With men, it is impossible, but with God, all things are possible. All he wants us to do is to trust him, to stand on his word. And when we do that, what does that do? It draws us closer to him. It strengthens our relationship with him. It makes us never want to leave him. I shared with you all earlier, a couple of years ago, maybe when I first joined Abide Network, about some things that were going on at my job. And it was just very, very painful to go through. I was removed from my position unfairly, reassigned, and just now I had to file a case and just all this stuff. But God gave me a promise in Jeremiah. Let's see if I can find it really quickly. Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 18. And this is what God's word said. And God spoke to me, and I'm telling you, I'm sorry, I'm out of camera. My Bible is up there. He speaks to us, because he loves us. Jeremiah 1:19. And this is what the Bible said. It was like Jesus was speaking directly to me. And they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee. For I am with thee, saith the Lord, to deliver thee. Do you know who said that? My friend. My friend Jesus spoke those words to me when I needed to hear them. And that's exactly what he did. He stood by his word and he delivered me. He gave me another position. He worked everything out, and I won the case. It ended up being a settlement, but my father, he honored his word because I trusted him. And that's all he wants us to do, is trust him tonight. So tonight, I simply want to talk to you about being friends. A man that has friends, be friendly. Give somebody a smile. Sometimes we think they didn't speak. Well, speak to them first. Just be nice. Give a smile. But no matter what, make Jesus your friend, because he wants to be our very best friend. When we make him first, last, and best in everything else will just fall into place. And I want to go on record tonight as saying, I'm so glad that Jesus is my friend. I'm so glad that he loves me. I don't know what I would do without him. And I'm so thankful for each and every one of you for the food for the heart. I'm thankful for my support group. Man, you guys are just a bomb. Just to share a little something, just to be very vulnerable here. I was really having a hard time, and I really just literally moments before I got on this call tonight. And I asked myself, why did I even commit to doing this? Why didn't I even tell Jennifer that I would do this tonight? I'm just not ready, And it's like, Lord, if somebody could just call me and pray with me, I don't, and out of the blue, never happens. I mean, not that it doesn't happen, but Creed called. Just want to make sure we're on the same time. But I knew God told Cree to call me to pray with me. And that's exactly what happened. See, that's a friend. You understand? I talked to my friend up there. He spoke to my friend here, and she responded and was obedient, and she called and had prayer. That's a friend. Do you understand? That's a friend. And I just thank the Lord again for each and every one of you. And I thank him for friendship, and just, I'm done. That's all I got. Maybe you guys want to share about your friends, or we're going to open it up. If you want to comment, share, whatever. Now's the time, but I'm done. And I thank